Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Atira and I do book reviews and book recommendations every week. Today I'm going to tell you about my new favorite, Milk Teeth by Amrita Mahale. The author Amrita Mahale is a rocket scientist who has studied at IIT Bombay and Stanford University. Coming from somebody who understands space and rockets and Sheldon Cooper level science, I would have expected the novel to be anything but human. But I could not be more wrong. This novel is the ultimate love letter to the human spirit of Mumbai and Mumbaikars. Mumbai for me is two people who moved from small coastal towns to this metropolis by the sea and made it their home. My home. The story is centered around two childhood friends who grew up in the Matunga locality of Mumbai. The chapters that focus on their growing up years are filled with nostalgia for generations of Indians. This was the time before television and video games took over childhoods. So there were groups of neighborhood children across age groups and religions and mother tongue who are all brought together by the phenomenon that is Mumbai. Ira grows up to be a journalist and her friend Karthik grows up to a management consultant. And over the years, the two friends drift apart. They are still both living with their parents, their respective families, which is very common in India, of course. Both of them are leading a life away from their parents as well when it comes to their relationships and much more. Even the characters around Ira and Karthik are very well written, shaped cleverly to fit into their stories. And Mumbai itself is a very important character in the story. It's like every little thing about Mumbai shapes Mumbaikars and probably vice versa. The story begins with a meeting of the residents in their apartment complex when they're talking about having a deal with their landlord about their rented homes. So it's not just about the real estate, it is about the middle class aspirations and limitations. It is the phase of India post the liberalization of 1991 because the story begins in the 1990s. The novel also highlights a lot of aspects of arranged marriages and the domination of caste and class and even salary slips. Of course, our protagonists belong to the Konkani community, so there's a lot of peculiarities of that community which are highlighted as well. And there is also a very subtle yet assertive take on intellectual snobbery, LGBT rights and even pretensions of liberals or those who call themselves liberals. Milk Teeth also covers the Mumbai riots that followed the Babri Masjid's demolition and how it changed the way we look at each other. These are not even political commentaries, and here I salute Amrita Mahale for writing a story which has been written so many times yet without making the reader feel bored. So for most practical purposes, the communal violence that started after the Babri Masjid fell came to an end after the blasts. But the spell of peace that followed felt like hate was only shedding its milk teeth. It is not to say that this novel is flawless. Of course, there are a few parts that could have been avoided. For example, I felt that Karthik and Ira are very rich, intense characters who are shaped more by Mumbai than anything else. So we don't really need to know about their ancestor stories necessarily. Also, the novel has a very predictable twist. However, none of this makes the novel tedious for even 1 minute. In fact, Amrita Mahale has said that fetishization of details is a mark of mediocre fiction, and her novel stands light years ahead of anything mediocre. And hence, I hope you won't deny yourself the pleasure of reading this gem of a book. If you like my content, do let me know by clicking the like button and don't forget to click the subscribe button. I'll see you soon in another video.